Good. Welcome to the June 25th, 2006 Lenawee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Welcome, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. First of all, our deputy administrator is filling in this evening as both the administrator and the clerk. So thank you, Deputy Administrator Elliott. I would ask everyone to please rise, and we'll have the invocation offered by Commissioner Krasny, who will lead us with the pledge right after the invocation. Commissioner Krasny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. Those who are willing, please bow your heads with me to the Almighty if you are so willing. Dear Heavenly Father, we give thanks to you for the blessings of liberty and the opportunity to live in a nation founded upon the principles of freedom, self-government, and equal justice under the law. May we be guided by wisdom, integrity, and humility as we carry out the responsibilities entrusted to us by the citizens of Lenawee County. May our work today together reflect the highest ideals of our nation and leave a legacy of good stewardship for future generations. May God bless Lenawee County, the state of Michigan, and the United States of America. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Krasny. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Simpson. Absent. Commissioner Tillotson.
Commissioner Tillotson is excused. His wife is in the hospital.
Commissioner Van Doren.
Here.
Commissioner Ongst.
Here.
Commissioner Blanco.
Here.
Commissioner Collins.
Here.
Commissioner Daly.
Here.
Commissioner Krasny.
Here.
Commissioner Martis.
Here.
7 present. 2 absent.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes of June 10th, 2026 would be in order.
So moved.
Support. A motion by Commissioner Blanco, supported by
Commissioner Martis.
Commissioner Martis. Thank you. Are there any additions or corrections? Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Amendments to the agenda. I have a couple amendments. Under board appointment reports, Commissioner Collins will be reporting on Michigan Works, and Commissioner Van Dorn will be reporting on Wellwise. Are there any others that we missed? Are there any other additions to the agenda?
If there are no other amendments to the agenda, I move that we adopt the agenda as amended.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Ungst. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Petitions and communications, Commissioner Blanco.
Yes, we got a thank you note. It says, thank you for selecting me as a recipient of the Lenawee County Commissioners Scholarship. It truly means a lot to me, and your support is helping me attend the university that I have dreamed of going to my entire life. Thank you for your support for my future education. I appreciate all that you do for this community. Sincerely, Hope Miller.
Thank you. I had the opportunity to meet her at the
Yes.
graduation. She's a wonderful young lady.
Lovely, yep.
Will do very well. Any other petitions or communications? Introductions of special guests. Limited public comment on agenda items. No one's passed any up to me. Any public comment on agenda item? Thank you. Special presentations this evening. We're fortunate to have our drain commissioner, Commissioner Scheffler, with us. He made a presentation to the Board of Commissioners at one of our day meetings. We thought this is important enough for people to have a better understanding of how the Drain Commission works, and we asked him to come to an evening meeting to make a presentation. So it's all yours, Commissioner.
Thank you and good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about my department's operations and responsibilities. I think this is a good opportunity to present to the board our complete, all the things that our office does and for the general public to know that too. Oftentimes, people don't know what the Drain Commission actually does. So, well, I want to start out with a little bit of history on the Lenawee County Drain Commission that I think is really, really cool. The Lenawee County Drain Commissioner's Office, it was established in 1847, and it holds a historic distinction of creating the first county drain system in the state of Michigan. So we were the first doing that. It was originally formed to clear wetlands and drain the Great Black Swamp area to support growing agriculture, and it has evolved into a large modern-day water resources agency. So the area of the first drains was in the Riga, Ogden, Fairfield, and up into the Blissfield areas. It was not farmable. They had a lot of health issues with malaria and so forth. So, and one of the cool things is a lot of the drains that in especially Riga Township are along the roadways, and they cast the spoil to build the roadways. So that was kind of a neat thing. I just kind of a nerd thing, but so, and then in 1956, the Michigan Drain Code was enacted. It standardized the statutory laws and defined the modern duties of the County Drain Commissioner. While the Drain Code has been amended many times since 1956, the original framework is still in place today. So the duties of the Drain Commissioner are established under that statutory law, as well as those dedicated by the County Board of Commissioners. So the Lenawee County Drain Commissioner is responsible for the administration and maintenance of 714 separate drainage districts encompassing over 1,500 miles of drains within our county. We also are in charge of the administration and maintenance of 9 separate sewer systems and 4 drinking water systems. The office also administers and enforces the Soil Erosion and Sedimentation Control Act for the county. And we complete stormwater reviews for many of the county municipalities. We maintain court-ordered lake levels on 8 lakes in the county, and our staff is currently comprised of 22 employees. So on the next page is a map of our county drains. It's kind of hard to see here, but the red lines are all of the county drains. It's like veins through our county, kind of give you a depiction of where our county drains are located. And one thing I would like to mention is we have an interactive map on our website where people can go and see if they have a county drain near them or on their property. It's pretty useful for people when they're starting out to try to find something out. So I'll move into county drain maintenance operations. This is about, I'm gonna guess like 35% of what our department does. So our office currently has 3 crews working year-round, weather permitting, on drain maintenance projects. Our equipment includes 4 excavators ranging in size from a mini up to a 45,000-pound machine. We have a tractor equipped with a boom mower and a sprayer, a dozer, high-pressure jet truck, various trucks, UTV, RTK GPS, and several other smaller pieces of equipment. So in the average year, we dip out about 40 miles of open drains and mow or spray about 80 miles. So some of the drain maintenance activities include a channel dip out, which it consists of removing accumulated sediment from the channel, returning a profile to grade. Removing sediment will allow self-cleaning by restoring velocity in the channel, reducing sod and cattail growth from within the channel, and provide positive drainage for subsurface tile drains. It's also important to make note that there is an extensive subsurface private drain system throughout our county that private landowners have paid for. And it's pretty pricey to put that in, and they all need an outlet for their drains. We also do tree and brush removal. We remove thick trees and brush from the drain banks to allow sunlight to reach the banks so we can get grass to grow and prevent erosion. We do routine mowing, and it turns out to be about every 5 years we get a drain mowed. It keeps the woody regrowth down and promotes thicker grass growth, further stabilizing these drain banks. We do herbicide applications where appropriate. on cut stumps and foliar applications to further control the woody plant species and reduce costs. Another thing we do is bank stabilization, where drains start to meander through a natural process. And it erodes banks. We armor those banks, we reshape them. And, that's, a project that, kind of works with nature, and, it kind of evolved to stabilize the channel, but yeah, create stable banks. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's a newer process that we're working on, and I actually presented at the Lake Erie conference the other day on that. I have a nice presentation on that, but that's for another day. So, we also have about 400 miles of enclosed tile drains, and many of these drains were installed in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and they're still in operation today. They're made of clay, and they often, as you can assume, get cracked, broken down, or separated over time due to the weather, freezing, thawing. Repairs are generally made by replacing broken sections of the tile with newer plastic tile. Occasionally we have blockages, which is most often caused by nearby trees. When you have dry times, the roots are looking for water, so they're gonna go straight to the drains. We have a root cutter attachment to remove the roots, and we also have a pretty good program of applying herbicides to mow and mow over our tiles to keep tree growth under control. Most tile replacements due to cost are completed under the petition process, and usually the materials consist of either plastic or concrete tile. We also have what's called 433 agreements. They're primarily were created as part of a development, a site condominium, or a subdivision or a commercial development. And once they're constructed, they're turned over to the drain commissioner for maintenance. And they're treated just like any other drain, but currently we have 33 of those throughout the county. Those are good summertime work. We can mow detention basins when we can't get out in the farm fields due to crops. So that's kind of nice. Some of the common questions that our office receives in regards to drains, we get a lot of calls on, hey, my neighbor's filling in, or he's diverting my water over here, he's backing water up. So that is generally a civil matter unless it directly impacts a county drain. And there's what's called the flow doctrine, that they have to accept natural upstream drainage. So generally, we refer them to get an attorney. It's a civil matter. It's important to know that not all drains are county drains. There are a lot of drains, a lot of roadside drains, drains that were put in previously that are not county drains that we have no jurisdiction over also. So it's important for people to go and look back at that map on the website before they call us, if they know about it. Another big one, and we get almost daily, is questions on the Raisin River. We have no jurisdiction over the Raisin River. We have people calling about log jams almost daily, other erosion issues, and we try to help people look at their situation, make recommendations, and refer them to the state where they would need to get a permit to even have a contractor do the work. So that's kind of a big one where it's almost daily we get calls on that. So our maintenance spending limit on county drains, we can expend up to $10,490 per mile in a calendar year. We generally do not do that, but it's a nice option because we can complete a whole project from start to finish generally under that maintenance limit, and we may not have to go back there for 10 years, sometimes even longer. So it works out pretty good. If a project is going to exceed the maintenance limit, we do have a couple options, and one is to perform the work as a multi-year project. That works out pretty good sometimes. And then we can also have a township board can pass a resolution to exceed the maintenance limit under some circumstances. And then other than that, you have to use the petition process, which is Also necessary in instances such as adding branches and closing a drain or creating a new drain. It's important to note that the petition process adds considerable time and expense to a project. They have to circulate the petition. There's a lot of hearings, studies, engineering, design, bidding. It adds considerably to the process. So all costs associated with the maintenance and administration of county drains is assessed to landowners and at-large entities within the drainage district. These special assessments are levied on the winter tax bills. County drains are not maintained by the Lenawee County General Fund taxes. So that's important for people to know too. So, the apportionment is the percentage of the total assessment assigned to each property or governmental entity. Apportionments of individual properties are computed by what I call the core circulation calculation method. Equivalent runoff acres. It's used pretty standard throughout the state. And the basic formula is the parcel size times the runoff coefficient. You generate the runoff coefficient based on land use. A commercial property is gonna have a higher rate of runoff than an agricultural, and a residential will be somewhere in the middle. So we use that, and then you times that by the longitudinal, which is proximity to the drain factor, and you get, it equals out to the equivalent runoff acres. So the parcel's apportionment, the percentage of the total assessment, is the parcel's equivalent runoff area divided by the total district equivalent runoff area. A little bit complex, but. So the financial structure of our office in regards to drains is each drain district is its own legal entity. It has its own financial account, which funds the maintenance, inspection, and repair of that drain. So when accounts go into deficit, we borrow from revolving drain accounts, which reimburse payroll, equipment, supplies, etc. So we have an 802 revolving drain fund, which was established by the Board of Commissioners in 1981. We have an 804 revolving drain fund, which is comprised of the drain district funds. And we also operate with a 639 revolving drain equipment fund, which was established in 1992. This allows us to purchase equipment, make payments, repairs, etc., and paid back via usage fees from each district. So we levy special assessments to repay revolving funds and drain district funds, sometimes multi-year, to reduce impact on freeholders in the drain district. Large projects, sometimes maintenance projects, oftentimes petitions are financed through notes or bonds with costs and finance charges assessed back to the district. We'll move on to sanitary sewer drains. So the Drain Commission is responsible for the operation and maintenance of 9 sanitary sewer systems managed by our Sewer and Water System Superintendent, Jason Morris. We currently have 10 field crew members who operate those systems. Many have sewer and or water operators licenses. The 9 systems together service nearly 12,000 residential units. Routine maintenance operations include inspecting, maintaining, and cleaning manholes, lines, pump chambers, grinder pumps, lift stations, lagoon systems, as well as general upkeep of the systems. There's also a great deal of laboratory work and testing required daily. We also have discharging treated wastewater and associated reporting with that. So we have to have personnel on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We have an emergency after hours dispatch number that folks call to call in a service request. Most common call out is for grinder pumps on pressure sewer systems. Each residence on a pressure sewer system has a grinder pump, so we are maintaining thousands of grinder pumps. Staff does rebuild pumps when it's possible. One big thing to mention is power outages can create an issue for us. We do not have enough generators to have standbys at every lift station, so we have a few mobile ones that we have to move around strategically to kind of chase things down. So it gets pretty hectic if we have a significant power outage for more than, say, a day, and especially if it's countywide, because then if it's just in one system, we can kind of handle that, but if it's countywide, it takes a lot. So administration includes processing payroll, billings, invoices, record keeping, customer service, as well as permitting, reporting, and public noticing. Sewer system costs are paid by user fees. So we have, of the 9 systems, 3 of them, Rowland Woodstock Sanitary Drain, Lock Aaron Sanitary Drain, and Posey Lake Sanitary Drain are what we call Chapter 20 drains. They were formed within the drain code, and they are administered by a drainage board. The drainage board consists of the drain commissioner, chairman of the board of commissioners, and chairman of the Personnel Ways and Means Committee. So Rowland Woodstock services an area around Devils, Round Lakes, as well as the village of Addison. It's currently ran by 4 operators, and it is a wastewater treatment plant. Lock Aaron services the area around Lock Aaron primarily, and it's currently operated by 3 operators jointly with Wampler's Lake and the Cambridge Franklin system. That is a pressurized system, and it has a lagoon system and discharges through a pivot arm, or we do have the option to do a water course discharge. Posey Lake Sanitary Drain is the area around Posey Lake in Hudson and Rowland Townships. And it's currently operated by the staff from the Rowland Woodstock facility, and that is a lagoon system. And we also have Central Lenawee Sewer System, which we're contracted with Palmyra and Madison Townships to operate and maintain. The primary area of service is Palmyra Township and the prison. Currently, we have 4 operators operating that system, and we have a lab on site, and it is a wastewater treatment plant. We also contract with Adrian Township to operate and maintain their sewer system, and that the operators from Central Lenawee run that system. It is a conveyance system, and it discharges to the city of Adrian's wastewater treatment plant. We have the Fairfield Township sewer contracted with Fairfield Township to operate and maintain. It services Fairfield, Jasper, and Weston. And we have lagoons at Jasper and also at Weston to maintain. The operators from Central maintain those. We have the Riga Township sewer, which we're contracted with Riga Township to operate and maintain. It services the village of Riga, and that's currently operated by our staff from Central Lenawee also. And it's a conveyance system which discharges to the village of Blissfield's wastewater system. We have the village of Clayton sanitary sewer system contracted with the village of Clayton to operate and maintain. It services the village of Clayton. It's operated by our Rowland Woodstock staff, and it's primarily a gravity system with a lagoon system. And then finally, we have the Wampler's Lake Cambridge Franklin sanitary sewer system, which we're contracted with Cambridge, Franklin, and Norval townships to operate that, and that services the community around Wampler's, Iron, Sand, and Evans Lake. It's a pretty big system. It's currently operated by 3 operators stationed at a field office on Pentecost Highway, and that's primarily a pressure sewer system with lagoons. Next, we have our drinking water systems. So our office operates and maintains 4 drinking water systems. We have several certified licensed employees that are responsible to operate and maintain these systems. These systems serve approximately 600 residents in the county. So operation and maintenance systems must be continuously supervised by certified operators who handle monitoring, reporting, and equipment maintenance. Operators manage sedimentation, filtration, and disinfection to eliminate pathogens and impurities. Preventative maintenance include flushing water mains, exercising valves, testing hydrants, maintaining tanks, equipment, and facilities. Repairs include leak repairs, valve replacements, and mechanical equipment repairs and replacement. System operators must track water quality, maintain minimum disinfectant residuals, test for lead and copper, and submit annual consumer confidence reports. So it's pretty involved there on the drinking water side. Administratively, we do customer service, billing, invoice processing, payroll, notifications, mailings. And the 4 systems include Lake Arrowhead, which is owned by Lenawee County. It serves residents in the Lake Arrowhead subdivision, located in Raisin Township. In that system, the Drain Commission bills users. They can pay in our office or online. The Manor Farms water system is actually owned by Palmyra Township. It serves residents in Manor Farm subdivision, and Palmyra Township handles the billing for that. Riga Township is owned by, Riga Water System is owned by Riga Township. It serves residents in the Village of Riga area, and Drain Commission bills users. They can pay in office or online. The South Shore System is on the south side of Wampler's Lake. It's owned by Cambridge Township. It serves residents on the south side of Wampler's Lake near the Egan Highway area, and Cambridge Township bills users for that one. Next up on our responsibility is lake levels. So Public Act 451 of 1994, Part 307 designates a county agent in charge of lake levels to control, to control an established lake level by circuit court. The Lenawee County Drain Commissioner has been designated the county agent for Lenawee County. Our office operates and maintains 8 court-mandated lake levels. Responsibilities include maintaining the lake at the level or levels established by order of the circuit court, perform routine inspections of the lake level and lake level control facilities, maintain the facilities, and engage a licensed professional engineer every 3 years to prepare an inspection report for the dam safety unit of Eagle. Costs to operate, inspect the facilities are assessed back to landowners within the district. It's important to note that 2026 is our year to have all the lake level and dams inspected by a licensed professional engineer. I have contracted with Spicer Engineering to complete those. I have not gotten those reports back yet. So the lake levels include Devils and Round Lakes. That level was established in 1935. It's a non-adjustable weir located at the southwest end of the lake. Loch Erin was established in 2005. It actually has a summer and winter level. The winter level is 1 foot lower than the summer level. The structure is located on the southwest end of the lake near Stonehenge subdivision. And there's also quite a few dikes that we need to maintain on that. We have to keep rodents off it from burrowing in, and we keep everything mowed out there so that trees don't grow on it. Loch Erin is a Part 315 dam safety qualified site. It has a significant hazard classification if failure were to occur. We have emergency action plan in place for that. So that's one of 2 in the county that we maintain that have that distinction. Dewey Lake was established in 1962. It has a summer and winter level. It's a structure with simple stop logs. Sand Lake, the lake level was established in 2002. The structure is located at the end of a channel on the northwest end of the lake and piping to the north side of US 12. We have an adjustable structure, but no seasonal change to the lake level. And currently that lake is extremely low, and it's primarily caused by lack of precipitation. Sand Lake has a low watershed to lake ratio. There's not a lot of watershed contributing to that lake. I had a staff member attend a meeting 2 weeks ago on a Saturday for the Property Owners Association to discuss that. There's been a lot of concerns on that, but we just don't have a place to get water for that. So Posey Lake, established in 83. It has a summer and winter level. It's a structure with simple stop logs on the west end of the lake. Horseshoe Lake, I don't know if anybody's heard of Horseshoe Lake. It's Commissioner Ungst. It's in your neighborhood. It's a small lake on the very west end of the county. So that lake level was established in 82. It's a static lake level, and we maintain that one. Cambridge Lake was established in 2009. It has a summer and a winter level, and the structure is on the south end of the lake. And finally, we have Red Mill Pond, which was established in 2013. It does have a summer and a winter level. Dam. It's, the dam underneath the Evans Street Bridge in Tecumseh. We have a lot of ways we can adjust that dam, and there's a lot of water that goes through it. It's adjustable by stop logs. We also have 7 auxiliary gates and an emergency gate. This is the other Part 315 dam that would be under our jurisdiction. It has a significant hazard classification. And if failure were to occur, we have an emergency action plan in place, and we have exercised that plan with, the emergency management team. Also, I want to mention that we post monthly readings and reports on our website for each of these trains if people are interested in that. Other duties, include the Soil Erosion and Sedimentation Control Act, Part 91 of Act 451. It requires a designated county enforcing agency to administer and enforce soil erosion and sedimentation control practices. The Lenawee County Drain Commission has been appointed as the enforcing agency for Lenawee County. A permit is required for earth changes that disturb 1 or more acres or is within 500 feet of a lake or stream. Exempted activities include plowing and tilling for crop production and some activities related to logging and mining. The Drain Commission issued and administered 64 permits in 2025. We do have our engineering services department exercises authority over the design and construction of stormwater infrastructure that convey and treat stormwater runoff. The Drain Commissioner has developed general standards and rules to govern stormwater management for developments such as site condominiums, platted subdivisions, and mobile home parks. We also provide review of stormwater system plans for many of our local municipalities. We do perform culvert sizings for the road commission and private crossings on county drains also. We issue drain permits for county drain crossings, county drain discharges, and worked in county drain right-of-ways. Last year, we issued 71 drain crossing permits. I think they're primarily for the, for utilities. The fiber optics is primarily what's going on right now. We also are developing an asset management plan that inventories all infrastructure, provides maintenance records and schedules, combines spreadsheet data and geographical data into one system. It's called a geographical information system. And the Drain Commission has the ability to create theme maps for people that are interested, and we can print up to 36-inch wide maps. If we do get requests for custom maps from time to time of a drain or something like that. So moving forward, one of the things that's really been front and center is water quality. So there's an emphasis on water environmental quality, and how do we pair that with good adequate drainage? We're trying to build best management practices into our operations that do provide adequate drainage, but also improve water quality and habitat. We're also updating our stormwater rules to provide for advances in environmentally conscious drainage practices. Some examples include wet retention basins, buffer strips, water control structures, and 2-stage ditches. One thing that I really want to mention, I've been working on this project with MDNR and Ducks Unlimited for probably the past 6 months, and partnering and cooperating with them to restore over 400 acres, and it's growing. They're getting more land of wetland in Seneca Township. We have 4 county drains that are involved, and through this process, we were able to work out a plan that will provide better capacity drainage for folks upstream of the project and reduce impacts downstream related to nutrient loading, while allowing the wetlands to be restored on lands that were very much a challenge to farm. So it's a win-win-win there. I'm really excited about it. We've worked agreements out with MDNR and Ducks Unlimited to ensure our drainage was not impacted outside of the project, retaining our drain right of way and ability to maintain our drains should something need to be done. So it really It's just a really good project. And this area, the icing on the cake is this area is now a state game area known as Seneca State Game Area, which will provide much needed recreational space, really hunting and hiking and bird watching and all of that for our county. And I think that's a real asset for our county.
And I think there's a big dedication in August for it.
Yep. So challenges. Drain commissioners face many challenges. We struggle to recruit qualified and experienced candidates for a job that is not always pleasant. Essential services oftentimes require long hours and extensive on-call responsibilities. We, as well as everyone else, are experiencing rising costs to do business. Our infrastructure is aging, regulations are ever increasing. We are seeing more intense weather events. To counter these challenges and continue to provide the citizens of our county the best possible service, we are focused on streamlining our operations, incorporating new technology, training and tools that prove to increase efficiency. I also believe heavily in partnerships that work together for the common good. We've worked successfully with the Road Commission, Building and Grounds Department, Health Department, Conservation District, Parks Department, many of the municipalities in Lenawee County, MDOT, MDNR, Department of Agriculture, and many others. So in conclusion, I would like to thank the Board of Commissioners and the County Administrator's Office for all the support that they've provided to help keep us rolling. And then on the back page, I have a QR code that kind of gives it's a nice little video created by our state association about drains and why they're important.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for that presentation. Are there any questions by the commissioners? Commissioner Martis?
Just a couple comments, really. First of all, Jim and I serve on a couple of those drainage district boards, and it's been great to get to see your operation and your staff and your commitment to caring for the community. Of course, you also take care of the Riga water system. I get to see your generators more often than we should in Riga through no fault of your own. And I'll also say that folks recently we're seeing a lot of discussion about water quality issues in the county. And I would say Riga doesn't have any water quality issues. However, my water bill typically runs about $230 a month. So be careful what you ask for. And one bit of trivia, it struck me as you talked about the Drain Commission being founded in 1847. The Erie and Kalamazoo Railroad, which is the railroad that continues to run from Riga to Adrian, was built 11 years before we even had a drain commission here in Lenawee County. So imagine what that was
Yeah.
like.
That had to be a challenge.
Certainly did.
Right. Other questions? Well, that was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Ed, we appreciate it very much, and I think it opens a lot of our eyes of what is done in the Drain Commission and the amount of work that you do there. So thank you very much.
Okay. Yep. Thank everyone.
Moving on to board appointments, reports, and we'll start on Department on Aging. Commissioner Ungst, I understand you didn't have a quorum, but there are a few items.
Correct. We did not have we would have met today at 1 o'clock, but there was not enough quorum, so we did not have our meeting, but just a couple things noteworthy. Dylan, the assistant to Carrie, visited with the Civitan Group, sharing the services that they provide. They did a summer stroll at Hidden Lake Gardens, foster grandparents out at several summer lit labs. And they're also going to be at the county fair that's coming up next month on July 28th at 1 p.m. They're going to be playing the game of Let's Make a Deal. So any fair goers, please go see them. And just a shout out to their home services staff, as that time of year that is most difficult for home care workers. Many of their clients may not have air or elect not to have that or reduce their temperatures to a comfortable level for those working in the home. So the staff is amazing just by showing up.
Right. Questions for Commissioner Ungst? Thank you, Commissioner. Health Board, Commissioner Collins.
Health Board met on the 17th. They reported the seniors, they went to the Senior Citizens Resource Fair, had about 200 contacts, but gave 20 vaccinations, which was more important. They just applied for and received a training and education grant referred to as the Lenawee Sharing Grant, $21,530. It creates a community hub of data for the health departments and several other programs. I believe Jennifer worked with them on that. Am I correct, Jennifer? Did you? Yeah. Reported that the respiratory illnesses are continuing to show low, COVID and RSV, no influenza changes, and avian flu. The last avian flu shown in the state of Michigan was March 12th and 16th in Kent County, none in Lenawee County. Clinics remain steady up and operating. The new nurse practitioner is up to speed very much. The concerning one is Lyme disease is becoming a high risk not only in Lenawee County, but in the state of Michigan. As an indicator, in 2022, we had 0 cases of Lyme disease in Lenawee County. 2025, we had 21 cases in Lenawee County. And year to date, we have 26 cases in Lenawee County. So the Lyme disease concern is genuine. I worked on a couple of policy formations, and these were really actually formalizing policies that had existed for environmental control. One was protective clothing reimbursement, an annual cost of $200. Development and rescinding of department policy or formulating department policy. One thing I'd like to, if I could take a minute to offer some kudos. Jamie Greenwald from the Health Department created a guidebook along with people from 2 other counties in the state. Actually, it's titled the Michigan Public Health Financed Billing Guide and Training Program. They don't even have an acronym yet.
Yeah, right.
But it was a compendium of how the best practices for financing and billing and person's duties within the departments. At the last state health board meeting, the state people were so impressed with that compendium, that book, if you would, that they asked them to give a report at the national conference. They went to the national conference, made a presentation there, and everybody was impressed with it there. And they're now getting calls from all over the country, people to assist them in best practice, so forth. So I thought kudos go out to JB and her to that assist with that. Other than that, I will answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Homeland Security and Local Emergency Planning, Commissioner Collins.
LAPC met on the 16th, talked about the grants coming to date and what grants were coming forward. There was a significant discussion on the oil leak from Lenawee County. No oil had seeped into Wolf Creek or the water drinking system or Lake Adrian. And they have hired a company, Eagle hired a company to come down and abate the problem. And apparently it was a non-functioning well that had retention areas on the side, and one fed to the other at the overload, and the one feeding over, when receiving it, did not stop, but it continued to go and flowed out of that area. Big discussion on the hazmat prop train, as it's called. It will be coming to Blissfield on August 17th. There'll be 2 sets of trainings per day done in that, and that is really out of response. Chief or Commissioner and Chief Ungst probably knows more about than I, but there will be training on extractions and how to handle a hazmat program on the train. And they have actually set the next meeting for LAPC at Blissfield so that the people in the committee can see the train running. Critical incident mapping grant they received from Adrian College. This is one that's finite to locations and actually formulates a process for critical incident handling. The first one will be going through Adrian College. Second will be ProMedica and all county buildings. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Parks Commission will be presented by Commissioner Tillotson at the day meeting coming up. Michigan Works, Commissioner Collins. Somebody did some work here last month, Commissioner Collins.
Michigan Works met on the 17th. They passed a couple of resolutions the numbers are not that important, but one of the first one was to do budget amendments for the budget about to expire this year so they could balance the budget and all would be well. Second was to establish the 26-27 budget actually. The third was a statewide salary market adjustment request of a 5% increase, which hasn't been done since 2022 for those employees. So that was passed. Received a presentation from the auditor for the program of significant importance is, how many years ago was they were at a $2.5 million deficit? Now, that sounds awful dangerous, but the great portion of that was not money that had got lost somewhere. It was simply money that was being reported in this category and should have been reported in this category. But nonetheless, it was a $2.5 million deficit. They're now down to about a $20,000 deficit. So they have made some significant strides. Also a lengthy explanation of the ransomware attack that was received. If we don't know that their offices statewide were shut down a while ago because there was a ransomware attack and demand for significant money, or they would release classified data that should not be released statewide. A lot of work was done. They're back up and running. They have hired a different company for security, and they are now at least feel safe about the fact that they will not suffer such an attack again. That was it.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Wellwise had their meeting, and the meeting basically was a presentation and approval of the multi-year plan that I have here that I'll run through briefly with, just kidding. Anyways, they did present the plan and the board did approve the plan for the next 3 years for 2027 through 2029. And I have the plan available if anybody would like to see it. But additionally, on top of that, there was a membership service award given to Cynthia Richards, who had been on the committee for a great number of years. I knew Cynthia very well. Actually, she's one of the people that recruited me to go to Wellwise, and very knowledgeable. She ran the personnel committee for many, many years. And so she retired and was given an award. But it was a good meeting, and we got the plan approved for the next 3 years. Questions? Road Commission, Commissioner Martis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, as we all are aware, of course, we've hired a new Community Development Director, Miss Lisa Hewitt-Cruz, and maybe odd I'm mentioning her in relationship to the Road Commission, but she asked to be introduced to the Road Commission at the meeting last week. And we actually met with Managing Director Scott Merlat an hour before the meeting. And we had a great discussion about the intersection between economic and community development and quality roads. Of course, Director Merlat is doing an outstanding job managing the Road Commission there. And one of the reports that he reminded us of is that out of the county primary roads that the county is solely responsible for, as opposed to the local roads, which are township and county responsibility, they study and grade all of them over time. And the percentage of county primaries that are now ranked as poor, I think is the lowest category, is well below 20% from memory, and it's probably the lowest it's been. And from the beginning of Scott's tenure, it was substantially higher. So we're making good progress, and it was good for Lisa to see that, you know, there is a very well thought out plan for roads in Lenawee County. And as always, the issue is funding because it's tremendously expensive. And then one final thing, I'd be remiss if we didn't extend our condolences to Mr. Merlat, whose father's passed away in the past week.
Thank you. Questions for Commissioner Martis? Thank you, Commissioner. Veterans Affairs, Commissioner Collins.
Veterans Affairs met on June 12th. The totality of the meeting was interviewing candidates to replace the Veteran Service Director, Tammy Sheldon, who's retiring. And at the completion of the interviews, scores were tallied, discussions were made, and the position was offered to the current Deputy Director, Timothy Rupel.
Questions for Commissioner Collins? Thank you, Commissioner. Unfinished business. Does anybody have any unfinished business? New business, sheriff and undersheriff.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Don't get to say that very often, do we? Like once a quarter. In front of you is a request for law enforcement services for a contract with Woodstock Township. So in the beginning, there was a little bit of a confusion when I first was having conversations with Rollin and Woodstock, and that was over sharing a deputy. And this is a little bit different. So myself and the Woodstock Township Supervisor had a little miscommunication on that, and that's why I'm bringing it to you tonight. This is actually tied to the public safety revenue sharing. So that pot of money that just went out to all over the state of Michigan to local units of government, and Woodstock Township received some of that money, and it has to go towards public safety. And they have reached out to us and would like to do a contract. This is really no different than many of the contracts that we already do. I keep bringing up the contract that we have, and I'm blanking out on it. Yes, and so this is a contract where we don't have set hours set up. This is a contract where when they want extra patrol, when there's maybe a event that they would like a deputy at, and it's also fills that need for the violent crime money that's tied to it. So this is coming before you. I kind of expect that maybe some other townships may kind of follow suit as well. And so this one is presented to you, and there's a certain no real dollar amount tied to it. I know that they've been given a certain amount of money, and we'll work with them whenever they need law enforcement.
I understand there's a time constraint, and that's the reason we wanted to talk about that this evening.
There is, yeah. So the time constraint, they really would like to have the extra patrols during the summertime, when obviously we know that Woodstock Township is very busy. A lot of people, up at the lakes. And so we wanted to make sure to get this in front of you now so that they can get it in front of their board very soon, and we could start providing that service as soon as possible.
Questions for the sheriff? Commissioner Collins.
We're required to get this in timely so that they can put it in their budget or make,
It's already in their budget. So the money that they received, they already received from the state of Michigan.
but the
in
money's
the-
allocated, will be allocated for this contract.
Correct.
Commissioner Ungst.
How are we doing on manpower to cover all these townships?
So manpower is always a struggle, especially during the summer. And so we will work with them to make sure that we're able to come to a good agreement on if they don't, if we don't have someone that signs up for a contract, because all of these contracts, we don't force our deputies to work them. These are contracts that mostly are on an overtime basis. So there may be a deputy that signs up for it, there may not. However, if that does not occur, then one of the nice things is we've had some people going through some academies, and we're only a deputy or two down, depending on the math. And so we are able to reallocate during some shifts. So we can reallocate to these particular areas to cover the times that they're needed.
Any other questions? Motion, is there a motion to move this process forward?
I so move.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Commissioner Blanco.
It doesn't matter. Whoever.
Commissioner Krasnick, excuse me. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think there's another one coming up right after this.
Addison?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing, okay, that was for the Woodstock.
That was a Woodstock. This is the Addison Schools. And this one has been kind of sitting, waiting. As we know, the state of Michigan, their budget and how schools kind of operate and what monies they have, et cetera, is based on the state of Michigan balancing or getting a budget for the next fiscal year. So there's some timelines there that they couldn't commit to the contract until they were aware of what monies they had. And so that's why it's coming in front of you now, is because all that timing just kind of lined up correctly. So we did not have a agreement during the last board meeting, just simply because the money hadn't been out there yet. And I know they're still waiting for other grants and other things to come through as well. But as of right now, this is for the next school year.
Questions for the sheriff? Commissioner Collins?
This is a renewal and
Correct.
will begin in September or?
Yes.
So,
This is for school year, for September to,
and it has to be approved now in order to get it moved forward, and
correct.
that was my understanding.
Yes. It'll go then now to their school board.
I would make a motion that we accept it.
I have a motion by Commissioner Blanco.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Krasny. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment. I have one that was passed up here for me on election data reporting, Matthew Whitty. Was that Mike? Hit the mic button, Matt.
Matt Whitty from Tecumseh, actually Raisin Township, 6766 North Raisin Center. Yeah, my favorite topic. I address regularly about elections and the status of them. We had a very important report drop yesterday from a group known as the Election Crime Bureau. Okay, they're not a government funded, it's actually citizen funded. It's through Mike Lindell's organization. But it's a summary of evidence nationwide, okay? And I want to bring it to bear on how it affects us here in Lenawee County. We recognize that elections are a national security. They're designated critical national infrastructure. And this isn't just politics. This really comes down to framing it in terms of how our national security should be issued. So, you know, this really affects everybody in the room. We're all American citizens, and that's what matters, not our politics. To kind of jump down to, I'm just going to mention the first two vectors of issue that were identified in this report. The first one is election record integrity. We all know that federal law requires preservation of federal election records for 22 months. And I want to bring that up because in 2023, within the 22 months of the 2020 election, I submitted a FOIA for cast vote records here in Lenawee County, and I was unable to receive it because the records didn't exist. I didn't make much noise about it at the time, but you know, here in Lenawee County, we had a retention issue. What we'll find from the report, it really had nothing to do with the people working here. It had to do with an overwrite that was performed by the voting machine companies that came in and did something called the trusted build. And we learned about that from Colorado, actually, where Tina Peters went to jail for revealing that. But we have the evidence of it here where I made that request and it wasn't available. Federal law said it was supposed to be, okay? It's not something to be taken lightly. So we recognize that. Michigan counted 498,850 more ballots than voters in 2020, almost 500,000. I mean, that's just outrageous. You know, we heard about Pennsylvania, they were only 155,000. It's like they were golden by comparison. So we recognize that there's issues with the data itself. The second attack vector is electronic voting system integrity. I've been carrying on about that quite a bit, but the machines are still certified and they will be used in 2026. Despite efforts, despite a executive order issued by President Trump. I just want to bring this full circle here. In Michigan, we do have Michigan Law 168-798B. If it becomes impracticable to count all or part of the ballots with tabulating equipment, the clerk may direct that they be counted manually. And I think the matter of impracticability is outlined entirely and completely with the evidence that's reported in this report that landed yesterday. And if, I would think it would behoove us here in Lenawee County to hand count ballots. If we need a little additional money in the election budgets for that to employ hand counters, there's a number of people around the county that my wife and I have been training. A number of them are actually in the room already. And I would encourage everybody here to at least look into what ballot hand counting entails. Okay, so I thank you for your time on that. It's really important to everybody.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Commissioner comments? Oh, yes, ma'am. Could I state your name and your?
Sherry LeMay. I live in Adrian Township. And I want to go along with Commissioner Martis. We were the ones that were bothered with that bridge. It was rebuilt and redesigned on Wolf Creek Road. We were the ones that had to run down Hamilton Road from 223 to Forester Road. That was a nightmare from January to May 15th. My comment is, I went to the road commission 2 or 3 times requesting fill-ins, gravel pit, fixing the bridge, this type of thing. And I was absolutely amazed at the cooperation we got. The first time I went, they were aware of it. Within 2 days, they were out putting a big bunch of gravel on it. And if it rained, I could say, okay, my friends from the road commission will be here in a couple of days to fix, and the rain would come back and they'd fix the holes. They did beautifully with that. So I wanted to update that. Whoever's running that. And then I went in several times to thank them too, in person. They're very personable, very knowledgeable, and very polite and very efficient. I was a little upset though, when they would decide to put a new road on front of Forester Road with, I guess, oil and stone. My experience before in some roads like that is not pleasant in driving over them, but they did a good job very quickly. I think they added extra stone, because it was the beginning of the day. They had a lot of stone to do. And within a short time, it was very pleasant to travel on. So kudos to them. Whoever's running that's doing a great job.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I'm sure our representative, Commissioner Martis, will carry that back to the road commission.
Absolutely.
Any other public comment? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Martis?
Just one comment, criticisms of our local elections to the contrary. I just want to publicly state that Clerk Roxanne Holloway and her entire election staff has my full and complete support, and I have no doubt that we're running competent and accurate elections here in Lenawee County.
Commissioner Krasny?
Thank you, Mr. Van Dorn. I'd like to thank you and others for holding this nighttime meeting. It's been sought after for several years, and with your foresight, having accountable government for a nighttime quarterly meeting. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you for that comment. We're thinking about, and the commission should think about this. We'll get it on an agenda in the future, but taking the night meeting and moving it to the regular second Wednesday. Instead of having 2 meetings a month, we just have a night meeting on the second Wednesday instead of a day meeting. And so there would only be 1 meeting on each.
Support.
We're not there yet, but thank you. Thank you. Our public comments over, sorry. Commissioner, any other commissioner comments? Hearing none, announcements? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and support to adjourn. Before we do that, I'd like to say thank you to Deputy Administrator Elliott for filling in tonight. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.